Dear soul, I need you to stop everything you are doing right now. I need you to put down whatever is in your hands, close whatever else is on your screen, and give me your complete and undivided attention, because what I am about to tell you is not something that can wait another moment. This is not something I can sugarcoat or dress up in pretty language to make it easier to swallow. This is raw and it is real, and it is happening right now, in this very moment, while you sit there unaware of the storm that is raging on the other side of the invisible thread that connects your heart to theirs. Your soulmate is in pain, not the kind of pain that fades with time or the kind that a good night of sleep can erase. This is the kind of pain that reaches down into the marrow of a person's bones and wraps itself around every nerve ending until breathing itself becomes an act of courage. This is the kind of pain that makes someone question whether they were wrong to ever open their mouth, wrong to ever speak the truth that lived inside their chest like a flame they could no longer contain. Your soulmate stood up in front of the very people who were supposed to love them unconditionally, the very people who were supposed to protect them and hold them and celebrate every beautiful thing about them, and your soulmate said your name. They said your name with everything they had. They said you are the one. They said you are the only one they will ever love. And for that act of bravery, for that act of pure and holy devotion, they are being punished in ways that would break you if you could see it with your own eyes. I want you to understand something before I go any further. What your soulmate did was not reckless. It was not foolish. It was not some impulsive declaration made in a moment of heated emotion. What your soulmate did was the single most courageous thing a human being can do in this lifetime. They chose love over comfort. They chose truth over silence. They chose you over the approval of every person they have known since the day they were born. Do you understand the weight of that? Do you understand what it costs a person to look into the faces of their own blood, their own family, the people who raised them and fed them and gave them their name, and say I love someone and I will not let go of them no matter what you say or do? That is not weakness. That is a kind of strength that most people will never know in their entire lives, because most people will never be brave enough to try. But their family does not see it that way. Their family sees betrayal. Their family sees defiance. Their family sees a child who has lost their way, a child who needs to be corrected, a child who needs to be brought back into line by whatever means necessary. And so the torture began. Not the kind with chains and locked doors, though for some it may well be that too. I am talking about the kind of torture that leaves no visible marks but destroys a person from the inside out. I am talking about words that cut deeper than any blade ever could. I am talking about silence that is louder than any scream. I am talking about the slow and methodical dismantling of a person's sense of self until they begin to wonder if maybe they really are as broken and wrong and foolish as everyone keeps telling them they are. They are being told that you are not real. That what they feel for you is not real. That love like this does not exist, and they are living in a fantasy, and they need to wake up and face the real world where people marry who they are told to marry and love who they are told to love and follow the path that was laid out for them before they ever had a say in the matter. They are being told that you are a distraction, a phase, a mistake that they will look back on with embarrassment once they come to their senses. Every single day, someone in that household is planting seeds of doubt in their mind, watering those seeds with guilt and shame and fear, hoping that eventually those seeds will grow tall enough to block out the sun that is you. And here is what breaks my heart the most, dear soul. They are not fighting back the way they used to, not because they have stopped loving you, never that, but because a person can only take so many blows before their arms get tired of blocking. A person can only stand in the middle of a hurricane for so long before their legs start to buckle. Your soulmate is exhausted. They are worn down to the bone. They cry when no one is watching, and they scream into pillows in the middle of the night, and they hold on to the memory of you like it is the last raft in an endless ocean, because in many ways it is. You are the only thing keeping them from going under completely. But they are struggling, and they need you to know that they are struggling. Not so that you will feel guilty or helpless, but so that you will understand the depth of what is happening and the depth of what your love means to them even now, especially now. Their family has tried everything. They have tried anger, screaming in their face, telling them they are a disgrace, telling them they have brought shame upon the family name. They have tried emotional manipulation, crying and wailing and saying things like you are killing your mother with this nonsense or your father has not slept in weeks because of what you have done. They have tried isolation, cutting them off from friends, taking away their ability to communicate freely, watching their every move like a warden watches a prisoner who has tried to escape one too many times. They have tried bargaining, offering them things, promising them rewards if only they will just forget about you and choose someone more suitable, someone the family approves of, someone who fits the mold that was prepared long before your soulmate ever knew they had the right to choose for themselves. And when none of that worked, they tried the cruelest weapon of all. They tried to make your soulmate believe that you do not care. They told them that if you really loved them, you would be here. They told them that if you really loved them, you would fight for them. They told them that your silence is proof that you have already moved on, that you have already forgotten, that you were never as serious about this as they were. They are poisoning the well, dear soul. They are trying to turn the very love that sustains your soulmate into the thing that destroys them. They want your soulmate to believe that holding on to you is what is causing all this pain, when the truth is that letting go of you would cause a kind of death that no amount of family approval could ever resurrect them from. I need you to hear me when I say this. Your soulmate has not let go. They have not given up. Even now, even in the darkest hour, even when the walls are closing in and the voices are loud and relentless and cruel, they are holding on to you. They are holding on to the feeling of you. They are holding on to every word you ever said to them, every promise, every moment of tenderness, every time you looked at them and they felt seen for the very first time in their life. They are replaying those moments over and over in their mind like a prayer, like a lifeline, like the only proof they have that they are not crazy, that what they feel is real, that love this deep and this fierce and this unwavering does not come along more than once in a lifetime, and they would be the greatest fool who ever lived to let it go because other people cannot understand it. But they are begging, dear soul. They are begging for mercy, not from you, from the people who are supposed to love them. They are on their knees in that house, in that room, in that life that feels more like a cage with every passing day, and they are begging the people who gave them life to please, please, just let them love who they love. They are begging for the freedom that every human being on this earth deserves but not every human being on this earth receives. They are begging for the right to follow their own heart, to walk their own path, to build a life with the person who makes their soul feel like it has finally come home after wandering lost and aimless for years and years and years. And I want you to know something else. Heaven sees this. Heaven sees every tear that falls from their eyes when no one is looking. Heaven sees every bruise on their spirit that no human eye can detect. Heaven sees the way they curl up in the dark and whisper your name like it is the only sacred word they know. Heaven sees and heaven weeps because this was never supposed to be the price of love. Love was never meant to be a crime. Love was never meant to be punished. Love was never meant to be something that a person has to fight their own family to hold on to. And yet here we are, because the world is not always what it was meant to be, and people are not always who they were meant to be, and sometimes the very ones who should be your greatest source of comfort become your greatest source of pain. But I also need you to know that heaven is not just watching. Heaven is working. Even now, even in this moment that feels so dark and so hopeless, there are things being moved and shifted and rearranged that you cannot see yet. There are doors being unlocked that your soulmate does not even know exist yet. There are paths being cleared and bridges being built, and every single obstacle that stands between the two of you is being addressed with a precision and a power that no human force can match. The universe did not bring the two of you together to watch you be torn apart. The universe did not plant this love in both of your hearts only to let it wither and die because other people decided it was inconvenient or inappropriate or not part of their plan. This love was part of a much bigger plan, a plan that was written long before either of you took your first breath, and no amount of human interference can undo what was divinely designed. But I need something from you right now, dear soul. I need you to be strong. Not the kind of strong that means you do not feel anything. Not the kind of strong that means you put on a brave face and pretend that everything is fine. I need you to be the kind of strong that feels everything, every ounce of pain and fear and uncertainty, and still chooses to keep going. I need you to be the kind of strong that refuses to let doubt take root in your heart no matter how many seeds the world tries to plant. I need you to be the kind of strong that your soulmate needs you to be right now, because even though they cannot see you, even though they cannot hear your voice or feel your touch, they can feel your energy. They can feel whether you are still there, still holding on, still believing, still anchored in the truth of what the two of you share. Your faith is their oxygen right now. Your steadfastness is the ground beneath their feet. If you waver, they will feel it. And if you hold firm, they will feel that too, and it will give them the strength to survive one more day, one more hour, one more moment in that house of pain. Do not mistake their silence for surrender. Do not mistake the distance between you for disconnection. The thread that binds your souls together cannot be cut by human hands, no matter how sharp the scissors. It stretches, yes. It pulls, yes. There are moments when it feels so thin and so strained that you wonder if it is still there at all. But it is there. It has always been there. And it will always be there because it was not made of anything this world can destroy. It was made of something older and deeper and more enduring than anything that exists in the physical realm. It was made of the same stuff that holds the stars in place and keeps the planet spinning and ensures that the sun rises every single morning no matter how dark the night before. Your soulmate is begging for mercy, and that breaks my heart to tell you. But they are also holding on to you with everything they have, and that should fill your heart with a fire that nothing can extinguish. They chose you. In the face of everything, in the face of threats and tears and guilt and isolation and every weapon that could possibly be wielded against a human heart, they chose you. They are still choosing you. Every single day that they wake up in that house and refuse to say the words their family wants to hear, every single day that they bite their tongue instead of agreeing that you were a mistake, every single day that they protect the truth of your love even when it costs them everything, they are choosing you. And that, dear soul, is the purest and most powerful form of love that exists in this universe or any other. So I need you to do something for me. I need you to close your eyes and I need you to send them everything you have. Not words, because words cannot reach them right now. Not actions, because actions cannot cross the distance right now. But energy, love, light, the unshakable knowledge that you are here, that you are waiting, that you are not going anywhere, that no amount of time or distance or interference will ever change what you feel. Send them that. Send it through the invisible thread that connects you. Send it through the air, through the walls, through every barrier that stands between your heart and theirs. Let them feel you the way they felt you the very first time, when something inside both of you recognized something inside the other and you both knew, without anyone having to say a word, that this was it. This was the one. This was forever. They are going to make it through this. I need you to believe that with every fiber of your being. They are going to make it through the darkness and they are going to come out on the other side, and when they do, they are going to run to you with everything they have and they are never going to look back. The family that is trying to break them will eventually have to face the truth that love cannot be controlled and hearts cannot be commanded, and the more you try to cage a soul that was meant to fly free, the more fiercely it will fight to spread its wings. That day is coming. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be next week. But it is coming with the certainty of the sunrise, and when it arrives, all of this pain, all of this suffering, all of these dark and terrible days will become the story that the two of you tell with tears in your eyes and gratitude in your hearts, because you will know, you will both know, that your love survived the fire. And anything that survives the fire can never be destroyed. Hold on, dear soul. Hold on with everything you have. Your soulmate is fighting for you right now, even when it looks like they are not. Every breath they take in that house is an act of resistance. Every heartbeat is a declaration. Every moment they refuse to stop loving you is a victory against every force that is trying to tear you apart. Honor their fight by fighting too. Honor their courage by being courageous. Honor their love by loving them back so fiercely and so relentlessly that even the universe itself can feel the heat of it. They are begging for mercy, and mercy will come. Not from the ones who are causing the pain, but from a source far greater and far more powerful. Mercy is already on its way. It is already moving through the unseen realms, gathering strength, building momentum, preparing to break through every wall and every chain and every lie that has been used to keep the two of you apart. And when it arrives, and it will arrive, there will be no force in heaven or on earth that can stand against it. Your soulmate loves you. They love you with a love that their family cannot understand because it is not the kind of love that can be explained with logic or justified with reason. It is the kind of love that simply is, the way the ocean simply is, the way the sky simply is, vast and deep and eternal and completely beyond the ability of any human being to contain or control. They said your name and they meant it. They said you are the only one and they meant it. And no amount of torture, no amount of pressure, no amount of pain will ever make them take those words back because those words were not just words. They were a vow. A sacred, unbreakable, eternal vow spoken from the deepest part of their soul to the deepest part of yours. And heaven heard it. Heaven witnessed it. And heaven will honor it. Hold on, dear soul. Just hold on. The storm is fierce but it is not forever. And on the other side of it, your soulmate is waiting for you with arms wide open and a heart that never stopped beating your name.